What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. For today, I wanted to just chill with you guys, sit down on my bedroom floor and go through my favorite books of the year. Everything from like motivation to social media, business, time management, all the questions that you guys ask me about what I'm reading, how I get motivated, and one of the biggest ways is to read and consume good content for growth. So if that's what you guys want to see, then just keep watching. All right, you guys, let's jump into this. So I've got a pile of books. I also have my iPad. So one good app that I've used recently is called GoodNotes, and in my GoodNotes, I keep my PDF ebooks. And one thing that you guys have been so amazing about and have asked so much about is my own book. So before I jump into anything, this is how I keep my book. My book is not yet printed, so it's an ebook. And the reason why I did this is I actually have like the Apple Pen, and whenever you open it up, you can take notes. And that's how I usually do it for any book that I get. So I wanted to go through this with you guys and share exactly what, I can't show you the whole book obviously, but the part that I love the most is the actual content machine. And this is really not only motivation, not only business, but it really is social media based, and it's how I run my business and all of the tips and tricks and like the amounts of money that I have poured into learning about this stuff, and I'm just sharing it with you guys. So this is my favorite part, the actual machine, like how you have a lead platform and how that can generate your content for an entire week, and how you don't have to be everywhere at once, basically working smarter. My favorite is the worksheets. I love the worksheets. So you can set up your own plan, your own schedule, and honestly, I have to say I'm super proud of this. We are secretly, not secretly, you guys know I can't keep a secret to save my life. Andre and I are working on a brand new book, an updated version. It will be printed and it will be on Amazon. But for now, you get a discounted version, which is on my website. So because there's no printed or shipping fees or anything like that, it's super easy for us to do. It's just on our website, and for that reason, we can discount the price heavily. So if you just go to my website, it's under Content Machine ebook. So if you go angiebellemare.com/content machine, it comes up, and there's a little quick preview, and then you can click to shop, and it is $17.99. Super simple, delivered right away, and you get it instantly to your email. But the way that I like to read is on GoodNotes, so I figured I would share that with you guys. And one thing that I want to share is the other books that I have that are like PDF equivalent and a lot less pages. Like I think the other book that I have in here is like a blogging book, and it was $85. So I'm just saying, I brought the goods, and I didn't want to charge an arm and a leg, and I didn't think that that was necessary. I just wanted to deliver great content for you guys. So let's keep going with social media and like business and goals, and then I'll go into like time management and stuff like that. So this book I just finished. It's called Make Yourself Marketable. I know the lighting is really weird. I usually film in the afternoon in here, and the sun rises on this side. Neither here nor there. Doesn't really matter. So this is by Emily de la Cruz. It's a total underdog book, but I love a good like planning book where there's like room to write stuff. And I thought that the tips and the whole branding perspective of it was on point. So Make Yourself Marketable, love this. You guys had to know that I was going to talk about this. So this series of books is another kind of like planning worksheet to workbook type of thing. And I have bought pretty much every single one. So they used to be best year, and it would be like 2019, best year, 2018, best year, 2017. I have like all of them downstairs, and they're all filled, and like the pages are literally like curled up. So this is the best year final draft. It's by Lisa Jacobs. I don't know her. I want to know her. I love these books. So there's like, I feel like the reading parts in the beginning are the best parts. Like I don't really make it to the end when you make like your annual plan. I probably should, but there's everything in here from like what your big goals are to how to avoid like the roller coaster of like the cycle of emotions. And I love it. It's a productivity workbook, basically. I love it. All right, productivity, hands down. And my coaches know this. I have talked about this so much, and I shared this on my podcast with you guys, and the podcast was also a video, so if you watched it on here, you heard me talk about like motivation and stuff, and I really said like I felt at home because this is what I do. Like this is what I do for a living. I will hop on and talk to my coaches and tell them like this is what I'm reading that's really helped me pull through. This is what I'm reading that's really helped me with time management. This I haven't shut up about with my team. So This is hands down my favorite book of last year and of this year. I have read this book, you guys, I have read this book probably 7 times over, and I've probably listened to the audio 10 times. Like, I love this book. So it's called The 12-Week Year. You can see it's like all ruined, and there's like, you know, you can tell a sign of a good book when it's been used and abused. So The 12-Week Year, it's by Brian P. Moran, and the audiobook, I love it also. If you listen to it at 2 times the speed, it'll almost give you like a sense of urgency like no other. So maybe try that. I use Audible, by the way, for all of my audiobooks, and I just think it's fantastic. I don't actually listen to things at 2 times speed. I listen at like 0.5 times the speed though, usually while I'm spinning in the morning. So 12-Week Year, Brian P. Moran. It's all about how to get things done in a shorter time frame. Most people will accomplish amazing things in this last quarter of the year. So we've just entered the last quarter, the final quarter of the year. That's what this whole premise is how to get more done in the last 12, or in any 12 weeks of the year, but for us right now, last 12 weeks of the year than most people do in 12 months. So 12-week year. But listen, but wait, there's more. You guys, I have already kind of made it very clear that I really like a good workbook, planning book. They have a field guide. This is pretty new. They also have a planner that just launched. Like, look, oh, my little notes, these little stickies. I love it. So this is like the work version of it. So you can go through, figure out what you guys, look at how much I use and abuse my books. Can you see how like everything's highlighted? Be hungry and always growing. This, I love it. So I'm going to probably travel with this because I feel like I need a refresh on it, but it's all about your goals, your commitments, and being able to circle back to them time and time again. And you basically revise them every week instead of every month. Love, love, love. And like I said, they just launched a planner. I don't have it because I'm trying to limit how many planners I have. I feel like there's a big difference between workbooks and planners. I feel like our generation loves a good planner. But the thing is, I was collecting them and they weren't helping me. Hence why I started bullet journaling. If you guys didn't see the plan with me, that's what I do now. And I just think it's way more efficient, effective. I might change my mind in the next month, but we shall see. Okay, another great workbook was this Life by Design book. And it's by Miranda Hersey. And I think I've talked about it in a previous video. I really liked it. If you're in a place in your life, and usually, if you're a chick, even if you're a dude, but ladies were more emotional. So if you're in a place in your life right now where you're like, I just don't know what the heck is wrong with me, can I just give you a little bit of grace for 2 seconds? There's nothing wrong with you. It's a seasonal shift. It's really hard to shift seasons. And I heard that like 4 years ago when I so badly needed to hear it. I was in a yoga class and my yoga instructor said, like, just so you know, like your body's shifting, the weather's shifting, the moons are shifting, the sun sets at a different time, the sun rises at a different time, like it messes with your body. So give yourself a little bit of grace. A seasonal shift is not easy, but that being said, don't, think it's like carte blanche to sleep all day, but just know that maybe it's a time when you can just reinvent. So that's what I do. Whenever there's a seasonal change, I always do like a little reinvention and I kind of regather myself and reappoint myself towards my next North Star, if that makes sense. This will help with that. So what this is 52 list questions, inspirations for finding your happiness. So I love books like this to just ask you questions that you don't really think about. Like if you had all the time and money in the world, what would you do? Like what are the top 5 things that you would do? What are some things that you would like to change about yourself? What are you passionate about? What's missing in your life right now? Like, I love it. And yes, I did do it myself. And I love, like, I'm not sharing anything that I don't actually love myself. We're back. Quick break to, meet up with our little buddy Carl and to get a battery. I hate when that happens. All right. But we were right in between. So Life by Design, Miranda Hersey, love this book and I am using it myself. Next. If you have never, I'm not going to mention it. Well, I'm not going to show you as like one of the books on my top lists because it's just such a book from like years and years ago, but I love it. Miracle Morning. If you're looking for like a productivity hack other than the 12-week year, I would say Miracle Morning is my favorite. So 12-week year, Miracle Morning, hands down. But that's an older book, so I'm not currently reading it, but I just got this. It's called The Miracle Equation by the same author, Hal Elrod. Love him. Unwavering faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles. I'm excited to read this. I feel like it's going to be good. And he is, how some authors are just really, really good at audiobooks? I'm actually listening to one right now that's terrible. and I'm not going to say who it is. It was so brutal. I turned it off this morning during my spin class. I was like, we're going to pick another book and we're going to read that book because the audio is terrible. But this guy, Hal, is awesome at audiobooks. So that's an option as well. And I love a good hardcover. So not a planning book, but it is a time management. And I know that you guys always ask about that, like how I manage my time. And that was one of the things that I learned was Miracle Morning as well as the 12-week year. Okay. In terms of business, this was something that I not only, also it's just really pretty. And this is why I'm bringing it up. These girls have a podcast that I believe is called Being Boss. Yes, Being Boss. So I don't listen to their podcast, but their audiobook, speaking of that whole factor, their audiobook is fantastic. I listened to the audiobook and then I read the book. So this is what I'll do. If I am reading a book and I really love it, I'll buy the audiobook. If I'm listening to an audiobook and I really love it, I'll buy the book. Because you get something from either side. Either you're listening to the audiobook and you want a physical copy to like write notes in and just soak up in a different way. Or some authors like Gary Vee, just off the top of my head, will elaborate more in an audiobook and you'll get like a whole other side of it. So I always try and do both. If I'm really loving it, I try and just soak in both and you'll just learn more that way. But I wanted to share that these girls do have a podcast and I really appreciate the beauty I just love the colors. It's a really pretty book. So I love this. Being Boss, it's a business book and it takes you through everything from like starting up your business. So it talks about what it means to be a boss, like a CEO, your boss mindset, establishing boss boundaries, habits and routines, how to do the work, how to live your life, and so on and so forth. I really liked it and I liked the vibes of it, and I'm pretty sure that they swear, which made me kind of happy. And last but not least, this one. I don't want to mess that up. Andre is reading this right now and he is obsessed. Actually, you know what? You guys always ask to hear from Andre and this is not planned. Babe! He might as well talk to you guys about it. I feel like that girl. Did you guys ever watch Brandy TV on YouTube? If you haven't and you want a good laugh, go watch it. She always does this. She'll be like, babe! And then he comes. It's exactly the same. If you guys know what I'm talking about, if you've ever watched her, she's that girl that does like her makeup, like Halloween makeup when she's intoxicated in different ways. It's more a good laugh than anything else. Babe? He's like, why is she? Yeah, you're gonna be in it. You're gonna be a part of it all. You're gonna be a part of it all.
You're gonna be a part of it all?
Come here.
You're saying you're gonna be part of it
I'm
all?
talking about this and I want you to explain it.
Oh, okay.
You can sit. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's not planned. I told them it's not
it isn't
planned.
planned. I'm wearing like
Andre
track
should.
pants.
No, you look cute. Andre should do a podcast, right?
I would have wore a suit.
Sit down all the way. Sit low.
Is this good?
Yeah,
this
you're
enough?
good.
Okay, fantastic.
Because I want you to tell them about this, but I also want you to tell them about David Goggins.
David Goggins? So what do you want me to say about
So
David
you're
Goggins?
reading this, and I didn't want to mess with it, and
No.
he's obsessed with it, and he hasn't stopped talking about it. And it's by Jocko Willink.
Yeah, who's a Navy SEAL. Basically, the book is broken down in a way that's so interesting because he talks about experiences as a Navy SEAL in Afghanistan and how he handled his troops, because he was, I don't exactly know what his title was, but he was basically in charge of a platoon. And he would talk about how he led his team or led his soldiers, and then how to apply that in business and in life. And I just think the format of the book is really entertaining. It's really interesting to hear about the things that go on sort of during war, and at the same time it's got some real life applications.
Does David Goggins have a book?
David Goggins has a book called Can't Hurt Me.
Oh, that was your other one.
Yeah, it's in my office.
Go get it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna run and go grab it.
You guys, he's obsessed with this guy,
David Goggins.
and he wants me to read it too. It's all about Navy SEALs. So you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, right? And he loves it. This is a very informal video, but I'm kind of loving it. So Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. And I have another Jocko Willink book downstairs that you were going to read as part of my Halloween decorations right now, because it was black on black, matte black.
That one too is about discipline, which is obviously a common theme with Navy SEAls. But yeah, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This is a really good book, and David Goggins, he's just like...
You guys, you know that I love Ed Milet. I've talked about him on my stories. His podcast,
With
or
David
like you can
Goggins?
check his channel too. Ed Milet and David Goggins. You guys, he swears like I was gonna say a sailor, but like a Navy SEAL.
Yeah,
He swears a lot,
like a Navy SEAL.
but like it's really funny the way he just doesn't care.
But I appreciate, like, he says the reasons he swears. He says, like, people ask me all the time why I swear. He's like, because my life wasn't beeping easy, like,
Yeah.
and he did have a tough life, and he shows how you can be an individual with no courage, with no backbone, so to speak, and just be a shell of yourself, and then become, quote, looking good. Then good.
There's too much glare. I was gonna wear these and I thought they'd be perfect for my video, but there's okay, sorry.
Too much glare. Anyways, he talks about how you can go from being an individual who was just a shell of a man, so to speak, right, with no courage or backbone, to he's touted as the toughest man in the world. And what his whole philosophy is, you need to callous your mind by doing something tough every single day. So if ever you're forced into a position where life gets tough, you can manage it and you don't crumble.
I've never heard that, callous your mind. I like it.
I love it, actually. I've been using it a lot.
And I have to say that you're more clean shaven ever since listening to David Goggins.
He's a clean shaven dude.
His nails are trimmed every day, and he shaves every day and shaves his head every single day.
Nails trimmed. That's not that different.
You're on your.
I'm on my grind for sure.
You're on it.
Am I good here?
You're good.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you.
Pleasure.
If you guys liked Andre, give this a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more from, that was a large crack, by the way, on your way up. You cracked your hip.
Let's talk about my butt.
No. No, not your butt crack. Bye. All right, you guys, if you loved the very informal hangout on the floor, I like doing videos like this. It's just more real and more raw, and that was not planned. And he's gonna rewatch this video like 1,000 times, be like, did I do good? So if you guys loved Andre and you guys want to see more from Andre, make sure to give this a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed, hit that bell for notifications. There will probably be 2 videos going up today, and I'm literally possibly filming this. It's like Inception, the video within a video. You'll see later. And what else? Make sure you guys are following on Instagram as well. We do still have the giveaway going on. The most adorable Love Your Melon Beanie. Can you guys see my Mickey pumpkin back there? That was yesterday's video, the DIY Mickey pumpkin. We're all over the place. We're talking about like motivation, goals, and then DIYing and Disney. So welcome home if that's your thing. So I will see you guys in the next video, probably in a couple hours. Love you guys.